everybody, welcome in to the Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan, Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson. We're celebrating the Cavs' victory as they advance to... Just kidding, guys. I don't want to start the show.
Funny at all.
That was rude. Ooh.
I had to do
This
it.
guy stinks.
Listen, before we dive into it, I do this every time we have to start on a sad note. I want to talk to you guys about how your day going. It's Thursday. We're almost to the weekend. We've had over 24 hours. We didn't have a show yesterday to soak in the Cavs' disappointing loss to the Pacers. Their season's over after what was a great historic regular season. A lot of talk about, is the core four going to work? Is Kenny Atkinson the guy for the job? I don't know the answers to those questions. I'm going to ask you guys, but I got to ask you how your day is first.
Hey, man. We all woke up today, so it's a great day.
I got a wedding to go to tomorrow, so
Rob's going to the Glass City, baby.
Toledo,
Wow.
Ohio.
Jack, what's
Let's
up,
go.
bro? Sorry to hear about your Vegas nights, man.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. You're a very compassionate friend. But yeah, there's nothing to smile about in my life. I had my second Game 5 series loss of the week. This one came at 1:30 a.m., 1-0 in overtime, after watching my team not score for the final 128 minutes of their playoff run this year. But hey, won a title 2 years ago, so we can't be that upset. We're a little bit upset. Actually, we're a little bit upset about it, Ryan.
Spoiled 2 years
Yeah,
ago?
no. We're good. We're good. We're not going to get into it
Spoiled.
too hard, but I do have some complaints. If we have time later in the show, I'm not going to open up the show on a hockey note, though. So out of respect.
Well, we will open it up complaining about basketball, I'm sure. Game 5, Indiana wins 114-105, wraps up. They're moving on to Eastern Conference Finals to play either the Knicks or Celtics. Cavs are going to Cancun, guys. We'll start here. Your takeaways from Game 5, was this as disappointing as the other games? And where do the Cavs go from here?
I don't think Game 5 specifically was as disappointing as the rest of the games. It was really just a byproduct of the rest of the games because Game 5, like that loss is excusable if you don't completely waste Game 2 the way that the Cavs did. So even like the vibe in the arena, like people weren't devastated. Like I've seen some devastation in my day in Cleveland sports. It wasn't that. I think people kind of knew going in, like you were down 3-1, you were banged up. It was wishful thinking to begin with. You had Donovan Mitchell shooting set shots the entire game, like his legs weren't under him. Darius Garland was clearly injured. Like I know that, this week there's a lot of DG haters out there, and he has been bad in the postseason, but the one thing that I'll defend him on is the fact that toe wasn't right. I mean, like had that been the regular season, he wouldn't have played. I know we just did that thing last year, though, where he wasn't healthy and he lost all the weight. So I think people are starting to get the injury exhaustion with DG. All in all, a really ugly way for this Cavs team to go out. And for all the people that want to question the viability of this group moving forward, they're going to have their day.
Yeah, me and Nick, for those who don't know, were at the game. And like he said, it wasn't like a feeling of disappointment. I feel like I knew the ending of the story as we walked into the arena. And I've been to a lot of basketball games, and I'm usually super locked, but I'm kind of just like, it wasn't like I was watching, like expecting a win. I was kind of always just waiting for the other shoe to drop. We go up 19. And then Tyrese Halliburton hits like 4 threes in a row, and I'm like, here we go. Now the whole arena understands it. We're trying to be supportive. Everyone's cheering, when Donovan misses 3 in a row, and on the third one, like everyone in the building is just like, come on, man, like we could do it. Let's just push it one more game. And it just wasn't to be. And it's disappointing. I truly don't have much analysis for the Game 5 loss. Like they just no more gas. You've already squandered it all away. You're in an insurmountable hole. They tried. They could never get over the hump in that game, much like they haven't been able to do in the past 3 years. So really just another story of disappointment for the Cavs, and we'll see what they do in the offseason.
The one that really eats me about it, it's every guy's out there trying, so I don't want to attack anyone, but if you're Max Strus and you send a text in the group chat the night before the game and you come out and you're like, hey, fellas, like we got to be ready, we got to be dialed, like if you don't believe, don't show up. You can't play 26 minutes and not score once. Like, not even a free throw, 0 for 6 from 3, 0 for 9. Might as well not friggin' come yourself, dude. I mean, if you didn't believe.
Man, to bring the house down on some wide open shots, bro. And Max Strus plays really hard, and I was a doubter and a huge critic for much of the end of the season, but he plays really hard. But I mean,
well, dude, he doesn't play spectacular defense, and if he's like this overpaid guy who's there to shoot threes and he's going to make $16 million next year, you need something out of him offensively in this kind of a game. I understand he carried us at times earlier in the series. But.
So like a couple years ago, it's sad too that happened. With Max Strus, because this was he was trying to have, he was aura farming is what it was.
Yeah.
Because in 2016, when the Cavs were down 3-1 against Golden State, LeBron texted the group chat
Oh,
of
no.
the core
You're not
team
that guy.
saying,
Oh, no.
I know we're down 3-1, but if you don't think we can win this series, then don't get on the fucking plane, is what the text read. Tristan Thompson revealed that on Colin Cowherd years after. So he was aura farming, trying to replicate that text.
That's like Tatum texting Kobe.
And no disrespects to Max. You're not that guy, and it's cool, bro. You had a good series, so I'm really not even mad at you. Like, it, for who you are in your role, it averaged out. You gave us some games with 20 plus. You gave us a game with 0. It came out to probably like 12 a game.
On a non-basketball note, I'm not a fan. I haven't said it this year yet, but now that the season's over, I'm not a fan of the flow. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, I will come out and back you up
like
on that.
a clean cut, no headband Max Strus.
I think there's guys in the NBA who it works on, and it has in the past as well. Like, we hate him in Cleveland, but Kelly Olynyk, like, he needs the flow, he needs the longer hair. Max Strus, it worked for so long with the short little, like, the buzz,
There's
little
not
top
many.
thingy.
I'll be honest. There's not, and it's certainly not me. There's not many guys that can pull off that buzz cut look.
Yeah, I mean,
Max Strus is
it's
one
tough
of
to do, yeah.
We can't be talking Max Strus hair right now. I can't.
All right,
Yeah,
well, then let's.
Well, you went 0 for 6 from 3, so we can't talk about all the threes he was
How
banging.
about this transition? Let's talk about an afro then. Jared Allen, 4 rebounds in this game. He had 2 rebounds a game prior to that. So the last 2 games of the season, a combined 6 rebounds.
Hell yeah.
For Jared Allen. Talk to me about the fro.
Get him out of here. There it is, bro. I mean, I'm sure we'll get to it later, but yeah, I mean, you're playing 2 dudes that can't shoot and they somehow can't rebound. I mean, that's usually the trade-off. I really have nothing more to say about it. It's just not working. It doesn't work. He's a playoff, not riser, but he drops his game when he gets there. The lights have been, they were, and they still are, and maybe they even got brighter. So, Jared, I don't know what else to say. I've been looking around. There's some things they could do with some teams that'll probably take him, and they'll use him better because he won't be playing against another big that needs to occupy the paint as well. So I think it's time to move off. Jared
Ryan,
Allen.
look at me. In game 5, this guy at halftime, Cavs up 19, was out rebounded by Maxwell Strus.
And then tell him what he did when he came out when we're in a serious closeout game. What's the first thing he does when he comes out on the court? And I don't care if it's a routine. I don't care if he does it every game. You're out there shooting over the head half court shots. I don't care if you've been doing it, bro. This isn't the time. And he's out there like looking around. He obviously bricks it, not even close. And he's just looking around like it's just nothing going on. We're up 1 point. And you guys are down 3-1.
Ryan,
Shoot a post hook, bro.
Look at me.
bro.
Down 3 games to 1. I know everybody loves Jared Allen because he loves anime and
good dude,
Pokemon
bro.
Cat
and
daddy.
his cats.
I need
and
a
all of
bad
it.
guy down low. I don't need a nice guy.
Get him out of here. Jared Allen is the weak link of this core 4. I know so much conversation is going to be had this entire summer about the core 4, what they do. It's not a core 4. If you have a guy in Jared Allen that you owe $30 million next year, and you cannot, in good faith, put him on the floor in the second half of a win-or-go-home elimination game on your home court because he can't hold Thomas Bryant's jockstrap, get him out of here. Out!
It is what it is, man. Talk to him, Nick.
We got to take a break. When we get back, I guess Jared Allen's out in Nick's case. Who else is out and who stays? At least who do we want to see stay? We'll talk about that when we get back on The Big Factor. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Big Factor here on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan Tyler, Jack Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson. We're trying to figure out if the core four should stay in Cleveland. Something that should absolutely stay, of course, is Fairway Ford. Fairway Ford is the biggest Ford truck dealership in the entire state. They have the largest selection of Ford F-150s and Super Duty trucks, and I promise you they will not be beat on price by any other Ford dealer. You can see right up there, employee pricing for everybody. You pay less than what they pay, pre-tariff pricing on all Fords. Over 500 in stock on their lot. Your dream vehicle could be at Canfield, Ohio right now, so don't let a short drive prevent you from saving literally thousands of dollars on your new ride. Fairway Ford, the largest inventory of new Ford trucks, the lowest pricing, same hometown level of service. Scan that QR code now or go visit their website at fairwayfordohio.com. 3 years of the core four officially in the books. First year, you make the playoffs, Donovan Mitchell, you lose in 5 games to New York. Second year, you lose in 5 games, you beat the Magic in 7, but then you lose in 5 in the second round to the Boston Celtics. This season, the third year, you absolutely crush the Miami Heat. You go into round 2, you lose again in 5 games against the Indiana Pacers. Fellas, have we hit our ceiling here with the Cavs core four?
Yes, sir.
It's a weird. When you lay it all out like that, boy, is it hard to evaluate because a lot of regular season success in there, Ryan, and not a whole lot of postseason success. And I think that's what's has me most frustrated this morning, Thursday, now that we've had 24 hours to digest this, is, they go into Cleveland Clinic courts for the final, locker clean / media availability. And you've got a bunch of guys saying, oh, well, this offseason, we're going to run back, the same group. And I believe that they're going to, because there's little that they can do with this roster because of the whole second apron thing. We got to get mentally tougher was kind of the lasting message that departed. Well, that's great to talk about, but how's it going to happen? Especially because that's the same thing that you've been saying for the last 2 playoff exits. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Now you've fooled me 3 times with this mental tough nonsense. It's becoming one of those things. You're either mentally tough or you're not, and this team is not. Like, you don't win 64 regular season games by accident. You truly don't. This is a good basketball team. The fact of the matter is that when the playoff time comes around and when the intensity ratchets up and the physicality is there, they can't hang. They can't hang with the Indiana Pacers. There were people looking at already the next round. What was Jared Allen going to do with Karl Anthony Towns?
Nothing.
Stop it.
Nothing.
And also,
Kristaps Porzingis, who can't even catch his breath. What's that?
The lights are bright in Indiana. Just wait till you get to the Garden, man. I mean, we had no shot. So.
if you think about it, too, over 3 years now, take out the 30-win, 12th-seeded Miami Heat with Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. This team is 7-15 in the playoffs in the last 3 years. That's embarrassing.
Well, you got to give them. You can't pick your opponent.
I mean, that's a playing team who barely got playing real basketball teams.
It's bad. It's bad right now. And the thing is, the conversation today should be pivoting to, well, where do you go from here? And because of the second apron and because of the DeAndre Hunter trade, who, by the way,
waste.
Yeah, one
ghost man.
We were all so excited about that. It didn't pan out. I would love nothing more than to see him get in the weight room this offseason and try to be a starter next year. I don't know what we were trying to do, bringing him off the bench. I get that it was a move that was kind of made in the 11th hour, but come playoff time, it meant nothing.
All right, well, let's talk about the man that's leading the Cavaliers right now, Kenny Atkinson. This sucks. I really thought we were going to go to the Eastern Conference Finals at the very least. I thought a big problem was JB Bickerstaff, and that can still remain the truth, but it's hard to stand on that leg after what you see, how this season ends. Let me ask you guys this. Do we feel now that less blame should be on JB Bickerstaff than we had initially going on him going into this season?
Same amount of blame because at the end of the day, my favorite meme in the history of Cavs internet is still true, where JB Bickerstaff's offensive playbook was literally a stick figure of Donovan Mitchell shooting the ball in the basket. Like, at least Kenny Atkinson instilled a offense, and that's one thing that we had throughout the regular season, we had throughout the Miami Heat series, and then when the lights got bright, they shied away from it. So that is one thing that you've got to be a little bit worried about with Kenny Atkinson. But, I think JB maybe, the thing with JB was he certainly fell on the sword. And they were able to tell you last year that we're a coach away. all right, now we ain't a coach away. We've learned that. You can't fire. What are you going to do? Fire Kenny Atkinson, who just won Coach of the Year, and try somebody else with this same cast of cast-offs?
Doc Rivers.
So, yeah, maybe, Ryan. Maybe that
think-
JB, maybe we're too harsh on him.
To an extent, I think you got to shoot him some bail. And I mean, Kenny's got to take some of this blame here too, though. I mean, great regular season, but Rick Carlisle just flat out outcoached you in this semifinals, bro. We couldn't draw in what was the turning point of the season. You couldn't draw us up a play to get the ball in bounds. Yep. That's really like that. That's what it is. You play the 3-2 zone. It's a good adjustment. I don't think Kenny's a bad coach, but he hasn't had much playoff experience actually, like in his career as a head coach. He had that one series with the Nets back in the day. But he learned some things here. What works one game isn't going to work the next. They're going to make an adjustment if they're a team that's worth their salt. So, I mean, I think he'll improve next year, but the team as a whole has to improve. And I think there is some things we can do to avoid the second apron, but we're going to need some other teams to help us out a little bit.
Hypothetical for you guys. If you swap Jarrett Allen with Miles Turner this series, do the Cavs advance?
Yes.
Yeah.
You think it's that straight
I
up?
think
It's
it's
not
still.
even a
It would probably still be going on. To be honest.
Damn.
It's not even close. That's a stretch big that's more physical than him. That would ruin their whole scheme. Because now they got Tyrese when he drives, there's no pop that's causing us to drop and then get away. That's just it's not even close, man. That's part of the reason that we had Fitz, and then you would take that and put it on our team and give them. They would be worse on defense.
It's sad too because you look at the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell, and they made that trade. It was supposed to expedite the timeline of the young group that they had. Donovan, a young player as well, so it really just added to it. And it hurts so much because you see these teams like Indiana, who nobody really thought was that good, and now back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals. You see teams like the Knicks, who everybody was kind of, and that was the darling of the offseason, and then they just didn't really show you anything in the regular season because they couldn't beat anybody. And now they're, a game away from the Eastern Conference Finals. Granted, they could get by Boston. So it's disappointing on so many fronts because you're seeing in real time some of these teams pass you up. We were just talking JB, like, Pistons are a young team on the rise, and you could argue that their young group with, Duren and Cade Cunningham especially could eventually outpass the Cavs. So, like, there's still work to be done here. And like, what happened was embarrassing on the court, and those guys that were on the court should be embarrassed. But Kobe Altman is the architect. Like, you got to lab up and figure out how we stay ahead of this 8-ball, because the fact of the matter is, the window for contention for the Cavs, as much doom and gloom is out there, it's still open. And that's why they're probably going to run back the core four and try to do what the Denver Nuggets did, where they were, always in the thick of it, just could never get over the hump, and then out of nowhere up and win the championship. And no Jason Tatum next season, like, that gives the Cavs, the Knicks, the Pacers, Pistons, a true avenue and a true path to the Eastern Conference Finals and ultimately an NBA championship. So you can't just mail this thing in now.
But you know what neither of the Pistons or the Knicks have? They both have floor spacing. They both have sizable lineups. Regardless of Brunson being tall, everyone else on the Knicks is just great defenders, sizable, physical. And they go with the trends of basketball. They're not bucking the trends, and they have versatile lineups. We have a starting lineup with 4 players, and 2 of them each do the same exact thing that the other player does. We need to diversify the lineup, and we got to start trying to go with the trends of basketball. We got to be able to spread the floor. We look, and Donovan Mitchell, he starts getting banged up. It's because he's always jumping into a big in the paint. Imagine Donovan Mitchell getting downhill if we had a stretch player out there. So when he's going downhill, the big's got to make a decision, and he could just pass. He would get so many more assists. He would be able to just way less wear and tear on his body. And defensively, we just got to go away from having 2 dudes that are 6 foot in the backcourt. It's that simple. I mean, that's just what it is.
All right, let's get spicy, guys.
Does that mean trade DG? Rob?
Get rid of DG and Jared Allen. I've been saying.
Let's get spicy. Do you guys believe a team can win an NBA championship with their best player being Donovan Mitchell? I go back and I look at all the teams in the recent years that have won NBA championships. Their best player, their star player, it's often a big or a forward. I think of Giannis. I think of Jokic. I think of Kawhi Leonard. I think of Kevin Durant. Obviously, LeBron. Curry's the one exception. You won 2 rings without Kevin Durant, but it's never a guard. Can the Cavaliers win a championship with Donovan Mitchell as their best player?
I think if Mobley is just as good, you need Mobley
Yeah.
to be just as good
One
as
A
Donovan.
B, 1A, 1B type situation is what it has to be. But I don't
Yeah.
think Evan's gonna ever be assertive enough.
See,
Well,
I
here's the
don't
thing,
either.
and we'll never be able to find out status quo because Jared Allen is in the way. But you got to get him out of the
There's
way.
too many shots.
Like you never go in a game. At least when I watch, I never feel like, oh yeah, Evan Mobley's gonna dominate this game. Like the way people hype him up, and I'm not the biggest basketball guy, but the way people have hyped this kid up is he's going to be Joel Embiid. He's going to be Nikola Jokic, not as good as a passer, but a guy that can run stretch, like can literally inbound the ball, run full court, hit a three, and be an elite defender.
He's got it, but then
Yeah.
he loses so many odds. Someone's got to throw him the ball for one. There's situations where you could go coast to coast, but when you have two ball dominant guards who are gonna dribble, Evan screen, and then you got the other center that's just gonna sit down there. There's no room to be creative. All those dominant bigs are really like they're either playing center or there's someone next to them that could go step out to the three and get out of the way and draw out that help. So as Nick said, as currently constructed, this isn't built for Evan to be dominant at all.
Like, there's no way, Ryan, to answer that question, there's no way currently to see if he could be that dominant guy. Because I saw a lot of stuff on social media of people who are like, well, back in the day, he should just stand on the block and clap his hands and throw up his
It's not
hand
the game
and
anymore.
demand the ball. Like, that doesn't work. And like this isn't CYO.
That could be it a couple times a game, but that's the other thing that people hype him up. He's got way more to his game than that.
Right.
But it's just we can't do it as it is. When you look at Giannis when they won the chip, you know why that worked? Brook Lopez was a great center, but he was hitting threes. He was stepping out. Bobby Portis
was Bobby Portis,
was
yeah.
a stretch off the bench. They had PJ Tucker in there.
Don't get me started on Al Horford.
That
man.
could bring in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You need that. I don't. The two. He's got to be the center, and he's got to be the worst shooter on the floor. Is what it is. And he's a solid shooter now, but he's got to be our worst option at a three.
Oh man, a lot to take away from this Cavs game, guys. It's disappointing. It
Sad.
sucks.
Yeah.
It's disheartening.
Can we get a one word from everyone just to describe the playoff run?
Egregious.
Yeah.
I already said disappointing.
Disgusting.
Okay.
Nasty.
I want to think of something really good, but I really don't. All I have is disappointing.
Yeah, bamboozled is
Bamboozled.
really
Led
nice.
astray.
Flabbergasted.
Run amok.
Hoodwinked. Run
Yeah.
amok.
What sucks too?
Putrid.
I'll say I tweeted this like it was like my final tweet before I put my head on the pillow. The night of Game 5. What's difficult about it is the fact that now we can't really enjoy next season. Even if they shake up the core four, you can't really enjoy next season because you know that it's fool's gold until playoff time. Even if they shake things up, even if they make some moves that excite us, we're always going to be like, not sure because we've seen this before and we've seen a number one seed, just completely crumble. I was glad to hear Donovan say Donovan said that same thing when he met with the media the other day. He's like, Donovan said we could go 82-0 next year. Nobody would care. It's the truth. And it sucks. Like, it sucks to not be able to enjoy this basketball team because they are talented. They are fun. We had such a fun regular season. They're going to do the same thing again next regular season, but it's all for naught if you continue to crumble in a best of 7 series. That's what it is all seriously about.
Honestly, I have a question because I've been thinking about this and just how the team is built overall, and I've always been critical. I've been pretty critical of this for a while. I watched the Celtics play last night, and even with Tatum out, they dominate the Knicks. They dominate them absolutely, and both of their guards were on Team USA, and DG is he has, as they would say on Twitter, a deeper bag. He's a much better offensive player overall than Derek White and Drew Holiday. But I think they're both better basketball players than Darius Garland. And I think we gotta seriously sit and think we got people who are good players, but sometimes less is more, especially when it comes for fit. And I think we need someone who could play off ball in the backcourt. Because they just take away from each other. They really do. And we need someone who could do that dirty work. It sounds crazy, but I think we would be so much better suited with someone like Grayson Allen in our backcourt next to Donovan Mitchell than Darius Garland. That's just what I think. It sounds insane.
No, I get
But
what you're
it's like
saying. I get what you're saying. Like, it's about facilitation, right?
It's about keeping it in the hands of your best player, not doing too much, and getting more on both. Like we need a two-way guy. Donovan's not a two-way guy, but we need him to have the ball. That's cool. He could be the guard. But we got, like I told you, we were talking about it yesterday, Nick. Like, I'd rather have some of these other people. I think we just need to, we really got to shake it up. I don't know how we do it because I'm not a GM guy. I got to hop on the trade machine. We threw some names out there. We were talking Tyler Hero, Franz Wagner, other people to mix it up. But I just think, like, less could be more for us, and we need different looks.
All right, welcome to Cleveland, Giannis Antetokounmpo. We got to take a break, guys. When we get back, it's everybody's favorite time of the year, the schedule release, NFL. What in the hell was that Browns schedule video? We'll talk about that when we get back on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan, Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Padone, Rob Watson. It is everybody's favorite game, the NFL schedule game. Guys, I'm not going to lie to you. It is a gauntlet. Browns have 0 primetime games this year. I believe one of 3 teams that can apply for. Let's take a look, guys. But before, I got to tell you about our friends over at Garage Beer. Garage Beer comes in just 2 flavors, Classic Light Lager as well as Classic Lime. You can see right there above me. It's just beer-flavored beer. No frills, no bitterness, none of that IPA taste. Find local retailers who sell Garage Beer near you by scanning that QR code or visiting drinkgaragebeer.com. Again, that's drinkgaragebeer.com. Fellas, the Browns 2025-26 Browns schedule is here. You open and close with the Bengals. Week 5 in London against the Minnesota Vikings. Week 17 is your second Steelers game. This is a lot to unpack. All I got to say is to start, that is a brutal first 8 weeks until your bye.
Are we going to go through game by game? Or
we have to. The schedule came out. We absolutely. It's the greatest tradition of every sports fan.
Lead us. Let's get it going.
You want me to lead it?
Let's go.
Okay. All right, fellas, because we're going to go around here. We got to vote. If it's a 2-2 tie on win or loss, Joey Pfaff will break it for us. Week 1.
Oh, we're really diving in.
Let's go. We got.
Let's do it, bro.
It's Thursday. Bengals at home. Anyone takers on a win.
This is going to take forever, by the way.
Yeah.
No, we suck. It'll go fast.
Loss.
We'll just stop if there's going to be a win. Ravens on the road. We're going to go loss there.
I don't know if I want to do this.
We won't do it then. We'll just go through and do the over-under.
Because it's like you never know what the hell's going to happen with, like, a team could get an injury. A team could just be garbage, like Jaden Daniels type scenario. I like to just view the schedule as an overall.
Yeah, let's do a 0.5.
I'll say this, like, the one thing about the schedule release is you knew these opponents ahead of time, and the win total obviously didn't change. But something about seeing it
It's
in
the
order
order that's messing me up, bro. Because we're gonna have no confidence, man. Like, what are we doing through?
Bad guys.
What are we? Baltimore, Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, and that's our opening stretch. Like, Flacco's gonna be done by like week 4, man.
I mean, so
all right, 1-7 or 2-6 going in the bye.
So you're looking at I'm saying you're looking at
1 win going into the bye.
Yeah,
Tops.
one win going in the 1 or 2 wins going into the bye.
2 if we're lucky. I'm looking at 1, bro.
And then you gotta catch the Jets out of
you
the
have to.
bye.
I gotta catch them lacking.
Especially out of the
that
bye.
away though?
It is away.
Oh, it's away.
Oh.
It's in New York, and then
We're not winning at Foxborough.
Can we catch Minnesota here? Can we find a way?
That's in London.
No, that's
my
in
friend.
London.
Oh, no.
We're not winning after a travel. There's no
so
shot in hell.
can we catch Green Bay here?
Could you catch
Jordan Love? No.
first 4
No.
weeks? Could you catch one team slipping up and win 1 game there?
No.
It would be the Ravens, and it'd be a false hope like week 2 last year.
London can be weird.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I think you'll either win 1 of week 6 or 17 against the Steelers, probably 17 because the first one's on the road, and then I think you can beat the Dolphins.
the Steelers are gonna have to play for real come 17 because they're always 10 wins or 9 wins, so they're gonna need to lock in.
How do we
need it?
How do we feel about zero primetime games for Browns? I'm a fan of it. I'm not gonna lie. I like 1 o'clock games, watching my Browns, the occasional 4:25. I don't need the spotlight on the Browns. I don't need it.
Well, tells you what the National Football League.
Hey, you went
thinks
3 and
about the
14
Cleveland
last year.
Browns. You went 3 and 14 last year. You traded out of a generational talent in Travis Hunter for a big defensive run-stopping defensive tackle. That's what the NFL thinks of the Browns.
We'll end up with a primetime game. They'll flex us in.
Do you guys think I had this thought? If the Browns would have drafted Shedeur Sanders straight up at 2, they would get primetime games.
Yeah.
We would have one at least.
Then
Yeah.
Because the expectation would be if you draft him at 2, you have to start.
It would have been like a
Yeah.
Thursday night
Yeah.
game early in the year or something.
I think we'll get there though.
My interesting nugget on this schedule, and if there was one to flex, Ryan, pull this up. Take a peek at Week 14,
Yeah.
I thought
because
about
that
that.
could be Shedeur versus Cam Ward. I knew they were going to put that one late in the season because they were amping for that to be Shedeur versus Cam Ward. At least Dylan Gabriel versus Cam Ward.
How about that 3-game stretch right there at Week 14, Nick? If Shedeur's starting by then, you're playing Week 14 against the guy that went number 1 overall in your class. Then you go play what's supposed to be one of the greatest next quarterbacks. Then you go play in Buffalo against the former MVP. Then you go play against Pittsburgh, probably Will Howard, another guy in your draft class.
That could be one of those stretches that makes him a made man. If he could go like 2 or 3 wins. If, say, hypotheticals, if he's playing, you compete in Buffalo and you somehow win 2 of those games, that could be one of the ones where it's like, next year, Shedeur is our guy. He's proved himself. But that's of course, being very hopeful.
Guys, there's no like 2 ways about it. This is a tough schedule, and this is a tough schedule in the sense that it starts difficult and it finishes difficult. And like in a year where it's of utmost importance for the Browns to find places to win and to improve, there's just a lot of pressure on and like again, I wasn't like doom and gloom until I saw this order, but the fact that you got 2 divisional opponents out the gate and then you're wrapping the season with the 2 divisional opponents, I know like this graphic really does lay it out so well because like it's scary hours if you're Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry and you have like a 0-6 start and you're looking at the Dolphins being like, please, Tyreek Hill, don't be, please Denzel, at least be healthy for this game. You're looking at the Patriots like, please Drake May have a sophomore slump because that's in Foxborough. You're looking at the Jets after the bye. Like you don't want to start bad on this schedule because there's pressure on this team and this organization to look good in the second half. And then it closes very difficult after that Tennessee game as well. So this is brutal, guys. And this is the type of schedule that you could look at it and be like, man, if we're sitting here next year schedule release, we'll be talking about somebody else's first year as a head coach in this new schedule.
Having to travel from London to Pittsburgh to play on the road.
Gross.
No
Detroit to London to Pittsburgh.
No
That's
bye
kinda
week.
crazy.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Why wasn't the bye week after London?
It's like
We could spiral 0-6, and it could be the fire the coach after the Steelers thing again. And then that's when you bring in Greg Williams back to get the rookie year head coach, the Baker combo given together. You win a couple to end the year, like you talked about earlier, Ryan. Then you turn it around, and we buzz through next year.
Because it's just we have to go like in like a 6-week span. We have to win 4 games, or else we're looking at like a 2-15 season.
All right, guys. Ended on this game that
This show has been like the biggest doom and gloom
It's
episode of the
nasty.
Big
Yeah, we
Fat
just come in and ripped everything the whole entire
game
time.
that you're most excited for face value. I can start.
Go ahead.
Face value. I'm gonna go week 4 in Detroit on the road. If we get to a point where we're 0-3, let me ask you guys this. I'm assuming Dylan Gabriel will get the first crack if we do a quarterback change.
Lord, is Aiden Hutchinson?
But if
playing?
Shedeur Sanders is the first rookie to get start, not saying that's going to happen, I'd love to see him in a dome against one of the greatest teams in the NFL. I know that's a lot to ask out of a rookie. I'm just saying. Imagine Shedeur Sanders walks in the fourth field, throws for 302 touchdowns, and they get the win.
He's
That's
either
all
gonna
you
play
need.
against-
300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the Browns get a win, and you're moving on to Week 5 in London with Shador already a win under his belt.
It'll either be the Dolphins game or like the 49ers game or something.
got
You
3
come off a
rushing
loss against the
touchdowns on the
Raiders.
board.
We'll do the switch.
There we go.
Ryan's got the brown and orange colored glasses
But
on.
For me,
Bring the schedule.
I think it's a
back
bit of
up.
a personal into it, but I'm really excited for Buffalo to come to town. Like almost all of my friends are from Buffalo, so that'll be a fun game to go to. Welcome them to town, and hopefully see Shadur Sanders take down Josh Allen right before the playoffs.
Give me
little
week
preview.
14. Give me Titans. I don't know how I could get up for any other game. on
That's
the schedule.
I'm excited for week 4. Week 14, like, because dude, you look at it like. Like they're gonna be underdogs.
Like that could be
they're gonna be
Pickett.
underdogs
That
in
could
all
be
these
Pickett.
games.
That's
Think
Pickett
about how
versus
excited you are right now.
Tagovailoa week 7. Like I'm just not hyped for that.
How sick are you going to be when Week 14 it's Cam Ward versus Kenny Pickett?
No, I almost think
impossible.
that's impossible.
That's got to be like
That's literally impossible.
plus,
that
like-
would mean Kenny Pickett has outright won the job, and they're like,
Oh,
they're
I
not-
need
Yeah,
to
and
get-
they're like in
we
the
used-
hunt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta be like 7 and 5.
If that happens,
Okay, that'd be sick.
That would be sick.
That's cool.
Yeah,
but-
I'd sign up for that. If,
I would
if
sign
that's
up
an
for
option
that.
Did you know that?
right
I found
now,
this
I'd
out.
sign my
I was about to say, that
name on
means
the
he's
document.
cooking. bro.
Some insider info about Kenny Pickett. I found out from a source who would know he only wears one glove while he golfs. I don't like that about him because I think if you're going to be the 2-glove guy, you got to take that with you into every single thing that you do. Like that's kind of been his mantra, the whole Kenny 2 gloves thing. Like you can't just switch it up on the golf course, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
but if you were wearing 2 gloves, like it's
Dude,
almost,
Aaron
I
Rye
think-
does it on the tour.
Yeah, but I think it's like leaning into it too hard. You know, like if you're doing it on the golf course, too, like okay, we get it. You got baby hands, so in the league you got to do it. But you can golf with small hands.
I saw
Okay.
that picture
all right, guys. I
of
said I'm
him.
gonna end with that. We'll end with this. Win total 4.5 over under.
Under.
I'm gonna go. They win 5 games.
Hey man, hope you.
Who
win.
was on crack?
How much you willing to throw on that?
Not a lot.
There we go.
I'm at 4. I'm at 4. They know what they're doing with this line because it'll be right around there.
All right, we got to take another break. When we get back, we'll wrap this thing up. Guys, I mean, what in the hell is that Browns video? A couple Minecraft ones. Ashton Hall got in the Jaguars
My
one.
go.
We'll talk about those. We got another unfortunate guy who's sent to Alcatraz. And Jack, maybe we'll talk a little bit NHL when we get back on the Big Factor. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Big Factor on the Big Play Sports Network. Ryan, Tyler, Jack O'Rourke, Nick Pannone, Rob Watson, wrapping it up, talking about NFL schedule release videos. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember. When did this become a thing where all the social media admins release really cool, creative schedule release videos? I don't remember this being a thing a few years ago.
It's like 3 years probably. It's been like every team's done it, but some teams have done it a bit longer.
I love the trend. I think some of them are creative. I think the best ones so far throughout the years, I think the Chargers ones have been tremendous.
Yeah.
Some have been straight awful.
They're the status quo.
I'm quick to label the Browns one this year straight awful. I want to get your guys' opinion on it. If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's like an AI, the Brownie the elf. He's warping time. He's trying to be some Doctor Strange shit. I thought it was over the top. I didn't understand the point they were making, and I didn't understand the correlation much to any of the teams that they were showing that they were going to play.
I have a lot of thoughts on this one, and it starts with the logo itself of Brownie the Elf. I would like to publicly call for it to just be removed as a Browns
Jackson,
logo.
you hate the Browns logos and whatnot.
No, well, here's the thing about
like
it is like we didn't really use it for a while. We kind of shied away from it. We brought it back. We put it in center field. Like, yeah, we were or, not center field, the middle of the field. Sorry, I'm a baseball guy. You put it on the 50-yard line. Like, okay, it's gonna be a thing now. Yeah, they went to the playoffs the first year they did it, but that was like supposed to be Deshaun's year. Like, I think of Deshaun having the hat and the jacket when he got here in the first place. They used the Brownie the Elf last year for the schedule video, which was like a dumb dumb like AI as well, like just in a wrestling ring, just throwing our opponents' mascots out of the ring. It was really stupid. It wasn't good last year either. I think it's a bad logo, and I'm not a big fan of it.
First
Everything
one
with
was
it gone.
2016, by the way, by the Seahawks.
Wow.
First scheduled video.
Was it that long ago?
Yes.
Wow. The one that the Browns did last year I thought was good. It was the Pete Weber bowling alley
yeah.
kind of Big Lebowski tribute. I thought that one
That's
was
what
good.
you
Or
do.
2 years ago was the one I was talking
You
about. my
gotta
bad.
lean into like pop culture
Yeah,
and
this
stuff.
one,
Like the
I just-
Ashton Hall one
So
was
did the-
funny
did
because
the
it's like
Jags
something
win?
relevant
Did the
going on.
Jags
I think
win?
the Chargers Minecraft.
The
one-
Chargers
like, the Colts
Minecraft-
also did a Minecraft one, which was, by the way, pretty garbage. I thought compared to the Chargers one. The Jets said they were going to do a Minecraft one, then they had some dude like draw. It was okay. Some of them are so.
No, the
I don't.
Browns one was weird.
What was the point?
I didn't get it, and
That's
what,
the thing. Nobody understood it.
The-
Then they showed it to the rookies, and the
And they
rookies are like,
didn't
"What the
get it."
fuck is this?" They're like, "Is this AI?" Like, yeah, it's AI, obviously, but what the fuck is the point?
It was kind of bad.
The funniest clip from the whole thing, Ryan, was that the fact that they dropped the initial video, everybody would like.
They
okay,
thought they cooked so hard too.
Nobody really got it, and then like when they showed the rookies' reactions and the video that came out, and the rookies were just like, "What is this? Like, is this AI?" Like,
Okay.
go watch the video of the rookies reacting to the Browns schedule release, and watch Dylan Sampson. It is Dylan Sampson. His eyes are just like he's so confused as to what's going on. It was a flop.
There was also a scene in the.
How did
I almost
nobody
called it a
hire
music
the
video.
Rizzler to do one? By the way,
Yeah.
That would have been fantastic. There was a scene in the Browns schedule release, like he spilled his like spaghetti or in like a drink, and it just made me so uncomfortable watching it spilled all over the table. Complete miss from the Browns, in my opinion. After I thought the last year's was so good.
Yeah, but he
Yeah.
used a terrible towel to clean it up.
Only
Yeah,
one that
smart.
even like with the part with the skyline chili for the Bengals was the only one I feel like that had any resemblance to like what it was. But then it was reversed, so it just looked like spilled food.
I
on
just
the
don't
table.
thought
get
they
it.
cooked, and there was no point to it. That's
It
what
was
I'm saying.
dystopian. ChatGPT probably wrote it. Like,
Yeah. I thought it was an
Not-
absolute
not
miss.
good.
I think the Chargers one was my favorite. They had Daniel Jones in his tiny New York apartment.
They had Rap Sheet and
the
Jordan Schultz
Starbucks.
at the Starbucks throwing hands.
Yeah, there were a couple good ones. The Ashton Hall one we mentioned from the Jaguars. I think those are the only ones I've seen. Or
The
What-
Vikings one was good.
what
They had
was
people
the-
getting the schedule tattooed on.
I
them.
haven't seen that one. What in the hell was that Mac Wilson song? Did anybody catch that?
I
saw it on
Mac
someone's
Wilson?
story.
He
I didn't
released
look at
a
it,
rap
though.
song.
He's tough.
No,
Oh.
I didn't think.
Can
so,
I
at
play
least.
it?
Can we,
Or
like-
Is that like?
No, I don't
Can we
think so.
compare
I don't
it? Because
Did
I
you
haven't heard
like
it.
Nick?
No.
Did you guys
Okay,
listen
I was
to
about
it?
to say you guys made me seem like I'm crazy.
No,
Ryan, did you listen to it?
I didn't have anything to say.
I have not. Just curious, if you could, on a comparative scale
You
to LiAngelo Ball Tweaker, where are we
I
sitting?
knew you were gonna say that. You can't.
I
LiAngelo
might swerve in that corner. Whoa, whoa.
Tweaker's way better. Way better. I don't know what it was. There were some interesting
Mac
ones.
Wilson on the team still?
Cardinals.
Cardinals. How about that? Like, how did Mac Wilson get the schedule that far in advance to write a whole rap song?
Oh, he was the release.
Like,
oh,
yeah,
Could just,
he-
maybe
he wrote
freestyle.
I gotta catch up.
It's called
on these, bro.
18 bars because it's the 18.
I was just too thrown off by ours, and then I saw Ashton Hall, and I was like, everyone just probably did way better, and then I stopped, bro. So
Nobody hired the Rizzler, which is a miss by the National Football.
Big L to start the season. for the
Ashton Hall
Browns.
runs a 4-2. We need him in our backfield.
All right, Jack, let's end this bad boy. I need to get like some music for this segment. Who are we sending to Alcatraz?
Dun, dun,
Guys,
dun, dun, dun.
Nick brought it up today. There's been a couple of names we floated around at points in time. It sucks to send one of our own guys off, but after having 6 rebounds, which is less than 1 foot for every tall he is, I believe he's 7 feet tall, over the last 2 games of the NBA playoffs, Jared Allen and the Fro, the Cat Daddy, you're going to Alcatraz.
Oh
Oh
no!
my God, why is he so long?
Pause.
He's
You'd
in
think he'd get more
Alcatraz.
rebounds, right?
Dude? So like, how did Adam Silver get up in there?
Oh yeah, Nick, you missed
You
it.
weren't here, bro.
Yeah,
That was
Adam
for the
Silver
draft.
got there because he rigged the NBA draft.
Oh no! Come on, he was on his David Stern. There's nothing wrong with that.
We need like the Law and Order music for
Yeah,
this.
dude.
How do you get out of?
You can get out. You can. It's not a final destination. I mean, it's a 2-way street. You can earn your way out or go in.
Yeah, if the league gets some more ratings next
Yeah.
year, we could take Silver out. You think about it.
Nick,
Like
so you
Pierre the
don't,
Pelican.
you
If
don't
Pelicans
think
good
he
next
should-
year?
You don't think Adam Silver should be an
Adam
Alcatraz?
Silver's the one in here that I disagree with because I think I see the vision, man.
So
I
you wanna
think
open a
you think
trial?
it's good for the
I'm
league.
also a
could have a
conspiracy
trial.
theorist. I'll be honest with you guys. I was so sad that I missed that show after the NBA draft lottery because I had such a funny bit planned and now I can't do it. So I'm not gonna say it though because I could keep it for something else. But I love a good conspiracy so much. Like people were having their day. I see it. The conspiracy out there is that Adam Silver forced Nico Harrison to trade Luka to the Lakers, their biggest market, and he rewarded him with Cooper Flag. I see it.
That's
But I don't think that earns you a spot in Alcatraz. That's some David Sternery.
Nah, you would have got outvoted.
Integrity of the game. Adam Silver belongs in there.
Just send him to Washington.
I
bro.
will
I
say,
hate
you
that.
guys see the chatter about the people that want, and like I saw Adam Schefter tweeting about an NFL draft lottery
Yeah.
that would have Goodell and Alcatraz. Like we wouldn't even.
Oh,
need to
I'd
do
be
the
so
show.
mad.
It would be a 15.
What would the
minute
Browns
big
live
factor.
for?
Dude, we would get the 7th pick every year.
No, I would be,
We'd be so cooked.
No,
bro.
you cannot do that in the National Football
No,
League.
January 6th would be child's play.
Yeah. It would January 6th would look like a Cub Scout gathering if that happened. I would raise hell at the league office.
All right, Matt Weiss, Pelicans, Adam Silver, and Jared Allen. Welcome to Alcatraz.
Get a rebound, Jarrett.
We're out of time. We got to go. Appreciate Garage Beer. Appreciate Fairway Forward. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow for a Friday edition. Same people, same time of the Big Factor. Have a great Thursday. Peace out.